freaking frogs gang.
And we're live. We're live, and I'm not showing this room. Let's see here. Let's go and bring up something cool. So,
something cool is that Gargoyles are on Disney Plus now, and I didn't know that until today.
Ooh. Gargoyles are on Disney Plus?
I love
Yes.
that show.
That's
That was
nice.
so good, man. That never had a toy line either, did it?
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Yes, it did. And it
did.
still does. In fact, it came
ran,
back.
But the thing is it didn't do as well because it ran side by side with Street Sharks.
Gotcha.
I'm not even kidding.
Oh, I know.
Street Sharks were just so much more marketable.
Right. Because also Gargoyles was one of the rare cartoons that came out during that time that didn't have a toy line, that wasn't based on a toy line, where you had the cartoon first and then you had the toy line. Usually it was the other way around.
Yeah, Mattel paid for the Ninja Turtles toy line, so that was what set the standard.
Yep. And He-Man, of course.
Or Mattel paid for the cartoon, excuse me, for the Ninja Turtles.
And then, of course, oh, there we go.
Oh, it's Boris Karloff's birthday.
Yes,
correct.
It is.
That's why the thumbnail for the stream said "Happy Birthday, Boris Karloff."
And there he is with his, I wouldn't say arch nemesis, but his
immaculate hair.
rival.
That's what you say. There he is with his immaculate hair. No Rogaine in that propane show, boys.
No, definitely not. Well, you know, he was part Native American.
Well, so am I, but that doesn't say shit. Like, I'm still going gray. I'm just
No,
talking
great. Are you going bald, homeboy?
I said I'm going gray, but not turning loose, son.
Because all of my peeps who are Native American or have some Native American in them, they all have nice full heads of hair.
Yeah, we got that salt and pepper.
Wait.
That
So like
silver.
even people that are dating Native Americans have full heads of hair?
Yes.
Because they have some Native American in them, you know. Sorry.
Well, it depends.
Pennsylvania.
It depends. It depends on whether you're putting the Native American in them or you have some Native American in you.
In you. Right.
You can't be Native American by injection if you're a male and heterosexual.
Right.
Unless it's not willing. Yeah.
Right.
Or is very willing. Oh
no.
Oh, the black cat. That's definitely or the Raven. That's one of my favorites.
I just love the widow's peaks that they molded in these fucking movies.
Yeah, they were great.
Because you know their hairline didn't work like that.
No, definitely not.
No, the wigs back then cracked me up because because they were high quality wigs, but they like over greased everybody's hair, and I'm like,
well,
wigs or no wigs, and I mean, wow.
It wasn't necessarily wigs. I mean, obviously Frankenstein and Bride of had wigs, but those widow's peaks and whatnot were just back hair like molded into the front with hair mold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotcha. Like pompadour, basically.
Yeah, it was like a clay almost. It looked like hair.
Right. Yeah, I think it was. Trying to think. Why am I suddenly blanking on his name? The guy who Jack Pierce was the makeup artist for all of these films up until I think about like 1945 or so, when his protege Bud Westmore took over.
Oh man, back in the day when all men wore hats.
Yeah.
Can we get back to that where everybody just wore a suit and a hat when they left the house?
I would be cool with that, except that hats.
You have to lower the price. Well, you have to lower the prices of suits as well.
Well, like I do wear a hat, but it's a baseball cap because anything with a back brim is a pain in the butt.
No, you gotta have a good hat dealer that can fit a hat to your head.
No, I've found a source for hats. I mean, I find
you got a hatter. You have a hatter.
I have a source. I have to order them online, but I don't know if they make them. I don't know if the person that I get them from makes them, or if they just get them from somebody who makes them. If that makes any sense. So
absolutely.
And then there was silence. Okay.
I know.
So
well, I'm mute because I can't trust my wife.
Oh, is she messing with you?
It's better than messing around on you.
Well, she heard about the Back to the Future remake with Tom Holland.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead, one more time.
No.
I'm sure they heard you in
Thank you,
Hollywood,
wife.
darling. Waifu. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm just messing around with different links here. And yeah, what we were looking at before were some clips from The Black Cat. It is definitely one of my favorites. And I guess that must be a young Boris. He was born in England. Then he moved to Canada, aka Kanakistan, and lived there with a traveling theater troupe. He came from a good, that's to say respectable family, well-to-do, and they were hoping that he would become a diplomat. Instead, he caught the acting bug and decided to just split and go to Canada and perform with a traveling theatrical troupe. And needless to say, that didn't pay very much. Eventually, he made his way to Hollywood, and he ended up in a string of gangster movies. Never the star. He's always a goon. You know, you see him in the background of a lot of films, like Scarface, the original Scarface with Paul Muni. He's in that. That's the Walking Dead right there. Not the Walking Dead that we're familiar with these days. The Walking Dead from back then.
No, The Walking Dead is pretty much anybody from 2020.
Yeah.
Fuck 2020.
Yeah, seriously, motherfuck 2020. By the way,
Every day of 2020, every day of 2020, every day of 2020.
Oh god, it's so horrible. Can't wait till this year is over.
I was in March for 84 years, goddamn.
I know.
You know, and some people said 2020 was going to be the year of enlightenment, you know, because it's 2020.
It was.
like,
It was the year of
right.
enlightenment that I don't want to be in my fucking house all day.
Right. No shit, man. Yeah, this year's been brutal on all of us, let's face it.
It definitely has. It definitely has. I mean, you know, I would say that this has had, you know, like a permanent like effect on the people that have experienced it. And of course Vaughn, thank you for hanging out, man. There he is.
What up, Vaughn?
What's up, man?
Hey, where's the Chick-fil-A cup? Show it to me.
I don't got it this time, my friend.
What the fuck?
I had to go shopping at Target where all the
Hey,
toilet
I'm
paper's gone.
I'm gonna
'Cause they're
get you
making
a
us live in
tumbler.
fear.
I'm gonna get you a tumbler, a steel tumbler with a Chick-fil-A logo on it. I'm gonna send that to you, my dude.
Oh, bless you, child. I love that. That's a great idea.
I'll get you a red one, just like the one you have, with a Chick-fil-A logo on it. Yes, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I do have my mule sauce. I mean, my mule sauce coaster though.
Ooh,
If you
spicy.
If you order stickers from the place where I ordered my 6 Gun Gorilla stickers from, they send you a free bottle of mule sauce and this nice little coaster.
Mule sauce. I'm hoping that's not what it sounds like. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Well,
Just
yeah.
a little
I
bit
just
of
can't
mule
wait to
sauce.
read Monster MD and Shinobi Sasquatch. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, baby. That book is going to be cool, man. It's the beginning of something big, I think, because we're going to write more, onto the story. Because I could only do 20 pages for this, this first one. So,
Oh no, I mean,
more room.
I mean Monster MD, Shinobi Sasquatch, and the add-on. I need to read them all.
Yeah, this could be a crossover.
Oh yes, the crossover is going to be killer.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
man.
only reading it for Heidi.
Yeah, I know. She's so
So is
fun.
everybody. So
She's
is
so
everybody.
fun.
Yeah,
Breakout
kicking her
star.
mind off her. Yeah, she is. The hot boutte,
Mhm.
nice and curvaceous.
I actually had this guy who runs a Twitter that's all about like hot chicks but they're invisible. And he found it's like called Invisichicks or something. Anyway, he was like, yes, in his bio it says like, yes, this is a thing. Like I'm actually into this. And he found Heidi and he was like, my dear Lord. The Holy Grail. So
There used to be this great website called Cartoon Chicks I Want to Nail. It was
Now it's just
hilarious.
called Twitter. It's just
Yeah,
called
there you
Twitter.
go.
It's just
There you
called
go.
Twitter.
Or Tumblr.
Yeah, right.
If anyone goes there anymore.
Oh yeah, they do. SJWs rule that shit.
Yeah.
In the chat, we got Lothar D. What up, Lothar D? What up, Bronson Gorilla? What up, Joseph Ippolito? Doomsday Kingdom Army. Everybody that's out there, thank you for joining us for this little impromptu birthday celebration for the one
Hail
and
the
the only,
motherfucking brethren. Hail.
the great Boris Karloff. Personally, my own personal favorite of all the great horror actors. I would have to put him at the absolute tippy top.
Why
Interesting.
is that?
Because I think he was the best actor. I think he was the best actor of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Oh my god. Okay. Nightmare fuel.
yeah, most definitely.
Right?
Most definitely. And he had a reputation for being just an exceptionally nice guy. He's one of those people, it's not just that you can't find anybody that said a bad word against him. It's that you can't find anybody that says anything less than stellar things about him as a human being. That he was a trooper and that he had absolutely no ego whatsoever. And, there was, of course, that famous feud between him and Bela Lugosi. And it was all one-sided. It all came from Lugosi and Lugosi's insecurity.
Got a little
Yeah,
jelly.
yeah, and also I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he passed on the part of playing the Frankenstein monster. He felt it was beneath him. He didn't want to be covered in all this makeup. He wanted people to see his lovely face. And of course, the fact that he turned that down is the reason why.
With Cesar Romero Joker, who just covered his mustache up with white makeup.
Yeah, man.
Gotta
You gotta respect that shit, though. You gotta respect that shit. He's
Absolutely,
just
I'm not shaving this shit for nothing.
No fucking way. Yeah, it would have been like cutting his balls off or something.
Well,
But,
I mean, you couldn't tell Cesar Romero shit. I mean, it's kind of like Drew.
Yeah.
What? So when I was doing some obviously some research for stuff that we can show that's not going to get this channel flagged, I found something really, really, really fun. I don't know if Brian has seen this. He probably has, because he's probably seen everything Boris Karloff has ever fucking done, breathed, or pissed on. So
can I just say the Von's hair in COVID times is amazing.
Hey, you have great COVID hair.
Like
Vaughn?
you gotta spike it up in a mohawk. That's what you gotta do. Just take a clipper to the sides. No,
like,
you gotta take a clipper to the sides.
you got to do Vivian from the young ones, man. You got to do it like Vivian from the young ones.
Oh, he's got a double lock.
Yeah. No, that's a Jerry only. That's a Jerry only.
That is a Jerry only. I met him. I hugged Jerry only. I hugged that guy. I don't know why he did it. He jumped off stage and looked at me like he knew me, and he gave me a big hug. I was in like lots of eyeliner and gothy like punk shit. Like I was.
That's
just
why
a
he
punk
did it.
kid. Yeah, because he thought I was a real deal fiend. He's like, there's a real, because everyone else was just a redneck, like, oh, Jerry, you heard that Glenn talks shit about you. And I was just like, hey. And he was like, hey, boom, big sweaty hug.
There was a band called Boba Flex that opened for Twisted at a local venue that I was a part of when I was 16. And there was me and another 300-pound guy that were able to hold this guy up on two of our, like, we each held a hand out to hold his feet so that he could stand in the crowd while he performed. And he dedicated the song that he performed while standing in our hands to anyone unable to maintain an erection while under the effects of cocaine.
Now that's special.
You mean everybody?
That's specific.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a professional.
Like, you do too much of that coke, your dick goes numb, man.
Well, I mean,
It disappears.
if the girl that you're with did too much of that coke, then your dick goes numb. But you, not so much.
It breaks off.
Don't rub your gums, Mitch.
Let's see if you've seen this, Brian.
Gum rubbing.
You're going to do a scene with Boris Karloff. Your lines will appear right here. Read them loud and clear.
Who's reading them? Brian?
Come in. You know why I've asked you here.
Oh, tell
You
me.
must convince the villagers that I'm harmless.
I'll try.
You're trembling. Are you afraid?
No, just chilling.
Have some nice hot coffee. It's butternut. Like it?
Delicious.
Butternut has found a way of making coffee richer without being bitter.
You can say that again.
Butternut has found a way of making coffee richer without being bitter.
I'll try butternut.
Take this.
Oh, I couldn't.
Oh, don't worry. I've lots more. Butternut coffee. Regular and instant. Rich but never bitter.
Rich but never bitter.
Of course, he was really a tea drinker.
Of course he was.
I knew
I
he
mean,
was
anyone
cool.
with classes.
Yeah, I had seen I had seen that before. It's from the era when he was doing a lot of live television and Thriller in particular, which was an excellent series. Which he wanted, he was like the host and he would introduce the stories, and occasionally he would appear in, acting in the episodes. They wanted to use him more, but he was already really on in years at that time. And the producer of the show tells a story of what a trooper Boris was. And there was a scene that they were shooting where there was supposed to be a car wreck, and Boris is just like lying in the road after the car wreck. And they had arranged it in such a way, they had blocked the scene in such a way that there was a little rivulet of water. This wasn't on purpose, but a little rivulet of water was running up his pants leg.
Yes.
So the producer comes over and he's like, do you want to maybe move? And Boris asked him, well, would it be better for the shots if I stayed here? And it was like, yeah, but then I'll stay here. So he had a reputation for being a trooper.
That's cool. I saw Gods and Monsters, and I think James Whale in that movie is like Boris Karloff, the most boring man I've ever met. Is that taken from? Is that from truth? Is that from life, or is that just for the movie?
I think that was probably from the movie, which is based on the novel.
Right.
But he was somebody that didn't have a single interesting vice, as Oscar Wilde would say. And James Whale was very much from the Oscar Wilde mold.
Well, Oscar Wilde was just the precursor to what's his name from
Me.
From Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Oscar Wilde was the precursor to Hunter S. Thompson. So
that's an interesting connection. James Whale was somebody who was openly gay, and at the time in Hollywood when it wasn't easy to be openly gay, and he partied. Yes, and he did party, and Boris was just a real a sweetheart of a guy. The story that I started telling before, let me finish it real quick. Rivalry.
Is this the actual Mrs. Church?
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. Church.
I got her drunk this evening. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me.
Mrs. Church.
Everyone's saying hello, Mrs. Church.
Hi, Miss Church.
Hi, Miss Church.
Hi.
Hope you guys got that.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. I heard it.
We got Dom in the house too. What's up, buddy?
Proof of life confirmed.
You guys will just excuse me. I got to get to refill.
Cool. So yeah.
She's actually watching the stream on delay.
Now, when she's on delay, like when it goes like live, regular, or
no,
she,
YouTube
scrubbed it back.
No. You come in later.
Well, YouTube gives you about a 30-second like clothes off so that you can end the stream before you say something stupid.
Let's see who just rolled in. Let's see here. It's Sim.
What the
What
fuck?
What's up, Sim?
What's up, buddy?
Where the fuck were you last Tuesday, bro?
Is he even there now? Sim?
See,
You mean last
no
Thursday?
response.
You mean last Thursday or Tuesday? Tuesday I was there. Thursday I was not.
Oh, well,
Right.
whatever day that I
Yeah.
was there covering for you.
It was actually Friday. It was a special broadcast for the
Yeah.
children.
Because I signed up for Mondays and Tuesdays, and the other ones I come in when I can, bruh.
Look, I'm just saying I picked up your lightweight. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I cannot pull the weight for everyone. Somebody else has to pick it up, right? Once in a
Hey,
while.
you know, that's what
Yep.
I'm here for. We love you, Sim.
I know.
My beard's still better than yours, though.
Yeah, I trimmed mine, so yeah, yours is probably better than mine.
I have the best beard of anyone on the stream right now, I think.
Yeah.
Is it
I just
long?
trimmed mine.
Is it full or it's long? Is it by length or filled? You know?
All right, I'm gonna give Drew an exclusive here. How about this?
Are we gonna get a close up of the beard? Oh.
Oof. Big bushy
Oh,
beard.
hey.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. You are rocking that beard. Yep.
I met this guy with this amazing Grizzly Adams fucking like straight out of Beverly Hillbillies style beard, right? And the rest of him is like totally normal and like clean cut and like jock. And like he's got this beard that just keeps going that makes ZZ Top like take a step back. And I'm like, why, dude? Why? And he's like, because he's no. He tells me, he goes,
and Duck Dynasty on the bottom, dog.
like he's just got this beard. Anyway, so I'm like, and so I'm talking to him, and he's like, yeah, man, my body doesn't produce testosterone, so I have to inject it like every week, and sometimes I need more than usual, and I have to go for more injections, and I'm just like pumped full of testosterone, and like apparently steroids too. Anyway, so he's got this. So I thought it was hilarious because like I just imagined him going in, he didn't have the beard, and then he got the injections, and then the fucking beard just like comes down.
No,
and then some chick.
You would literally need the injections right into your neck base because
Yeah.
this doesn't come from not having testosterone. Like you have to have all the testosterone for this to function.
Right. And I was just like, okay, that's cool, man. And then this chick walks over to him and is like, so tell me about the beard. And he's like, well, I figured, not a lot of guys can do what I can do. So might as well just grow it out. And I was like, you piece of shit. You're juicing. What are you on the Russian Olympic team?
I have never taken a steroid in my life, not even medicinally.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Dude, when I used to actually do professional weightlifting and competition and stuff like that, they wanted me to take steroids, and I always refused because when you learn is when you use steroid, you kind of like pump them full of air. So as soon as you stop, you lose, right?
Right.
And you're impeding your heart rate, your immunity system,
liver damage,
your liver and everything. While
Plus
while you're training,
starts to compensate for that.
I
while you're training natural and you're feeding yourself like 6 to 12 eggs a morning, eating some pasta, you're building actual muscle. So even if I stop training for like 10 years, I still have my
strength.
I haven't done powerlifting in 2 years because children and COVID and raising 5 kids.
Damn.
But, well, it's 3, but I'm a child. My wife is the drunk of the child, so
So the whole family is the kids, is what he's saying. It's like,
correct. But with a family of 5, I haven't done weightlifting in 2 years because gym memberships are fucking exorbitant, and
and you can't go to them.
You mean by weightlifting? You mean regular training or weightlifting like training?
No. I meant strongman training. I used to do like
me too.
I used to do like fucking Atlas
pulling the
stones,
truck, the
kegs,
tires.
Yeah, tires, all that.
I
shit.
did the same thing too. Yeah.
And I can still do tires. I can still do Atlas stones. I can still do like 315 pounds, which is over 100 pounds over my natural weight.
But how much weight can you lift with your balls?
Probably about 100 pounds.
I was gonna say, ask your girlfriend.
Oh,
I'm married, sir. Sir, I'm married.
No, I said if I would have been you, I would have answered that.
I could see that this room just became like 150% sexier since I left. What up, Simon?
What's up?
Oh, do I need to
What's
aim
that?
the camera at my testicular fortitude? Is that what I need to?
No,
Yeah, he's a chinbolian. He's a chinbolian, and it's all covered.
It's just as hairy as my beard.
Do you remember the chinbolian and
Yeah,
freaking?
the ball,
Yeah, Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black. The
Balchinian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Why do I hang out with you guys, by the way? Like,
Because-
I don't understand this.
All right, so
Well,
now there's
Vaughn is
another
awesome.
there's another element of Boris Karloff that a lot of people are unaware of, which I'm sure
Tell me.
everybody can appreciate. And that would be this aspect right here.
That he played music.
He liked cats.
He loved
Why is it
Mexican
not?
food, by the way.
He didn't suck dick.
And
Get the fuck out of here! I thought that's what you needed to do to be in Hollywood.
Who down in who?
These days.
These days.
And the Hollywood.
Oh, he narrated the Grinch.
Oh,
Look at where that tail was wagging, though.
he was the Grinch.
Was the Grinch.
Yes, he did the voices even for Cindy Lou Who. The only thing he did not do in that is the song. So
Uh-oh.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
This
Yeah.
is-
fact.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff that was kid related, and he had a real love for children.
Is that why it looks like him?
As a
Yeah.
side note, though,
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
well,
Absolutely.
I'm sure that they designed Boris Karloff as the Grinch to get him to sign on to the piece because that was
Well,
like, typical.
He has his expressions.
That's
Yeah.
Chuck Jones. That's Chuck Jones.
Well,
and-
no, but what I'm saying is, back in the day when they did animation, they animated as the
Yes,
character that they
yes.
wanted them to play.
Absolutely. Mad Monster Party, which is 100 times better than Nightmare Before Christmas, also has Boris
Shut your
Karloff.
fucking mouth, sir.
Oh, fuck you, bro.
Shut your fucking mouth, sir. I will fight you. I will fucking fight you, sir.
Is this turning into a blood
Excuse me while
sport?
I go
Damn
get
it!
Excuse me while I go get my wand of magic missile. Which is a 40 caliber pistol.
Nightmare Before Christmas is nothing but a second-rate imitation, knockoff, ripoff of Mad Monster Party.
Look, you tell that to my Tim Burton engulfed penis, okay?
Except there's one problem, dude. Tim Burton didn't do Nightmare Before Christmas.
Am I the only one eating popcorn here?
Yeah.
Vaughn doesn't have the Chick-fil-A right now.
I'm just and I'm imagining what a Tim Burton engulfed penis looks like.
Very
It
gothic,
looks like a backache.
and probably
It
some
looks like a
blades.
goddamn backache.
I'm about to make that sucker go.
It looks like a sock puppet.
Listen carefully. You're about to turtle. I'm sorry, dude, but you're about to turtle. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before
Coming
Christmas
out of my
is
shell.
not by Tim Burton. Tim Burton didn't write it. He didn't direct it. But it's called Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. What the fuck?
Because he had
Because he
a name.
produced it.
Because he
Yeah,
had
he
a
produced
name.
it.
Exactly. Because they knew that it would actually maybe make a little bit of money if they put his fucking
It
name
made a
on.
lot of goddamn money.
Then let's
You know
not
how much
forget,
Nightmare Before Christmas shit
the
I
only-
buy every year.
Also, because he could put his wife in it.
Yes. There you go.
That's the
Yeah.
best way. You get Tim Burton. You
At
go.
the
I have a
time,
role just for your
didn't
wife.
he and
What-
Helena Bonham
what-
Carter
what-
didn't they get
Which-
divorced a few years after Nightmare Before Christmas came out?
Who? Which wife?
Helena Bonham Carter?
Yes,
She wasn't. Was she in Nightmare?
I think
I
so.
didn't-
Yeah,
I didn't think they were together back when he did
I
Nightmare
don't think
Before
so.
they
either.
were together for
Well,
like
he didn't
20
do Nightmare
years.
Before
They
Christmas. That's
they
the thing.
split up after, if I'm not mistaken.
Henry Selick did Nightmare Before Christmas. It's Henry
Right.
Selick's
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
is, it's still just a cheap knockoff of Mad Monster Party, which
Right.
features
I
Boris
will still
Karloff
fight you.
pretty much playing himself.
I will still fight you. That's all I'm saying. You Ethan Van Sciver looking motherfucker. Let's cyberfrog it up in this bitch.
This is getting real.
I love it.
He had to go. He had to go.
Is this horror talk or this is like a problem in the multiverse,
Did he
bro?
just go and get his musket? He went and got his musket.
Just in case, you never know when zombies are going to come.
You never know when churches are going to come for you.
Yeah, but dude, you filled that with blanks, dude.
No, I didn't fill it with blanks. It's let's see. What
A ball shots. Is that it?
No.
That's right. He done packed it with black powder.
Okay.
Mrs. Church is
He got
saying
with-
that
he got with
Tim
Helen
Burton
Bonham
created the
Carter.
story.
I didn't know.
Actually,
I
was
did.
in 2001. That's when they hooked up on Planet of the Apes.
I did
Holy
not-
shit, Brian, you're
Mrs.
armed.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Church is the horror aficionado.
Not really, Vaughn. That's what we're talking about. He's not really armed. They shoot balls.
That's right.
No, they're beanbags.
Beanbags. There you go.
What? I got some buckshot and I got some slugs.
Okay. I stand corrected,
You
bro.
got
I stand
slugs.
corrected.
I got
You're ready for the zombies now.
Keep it in the hole, and,
That's right, I am.
But you don't want to use a buckshot on a zombie because they don't care about the pain.
No,
I blame Drew. He
You think I
invited
knew
me.
that.
All right, so
Yeah.
it does attribute the concept of Nightmare Before Christmas to Tim Burton as well. So
Yep.
So yeah,
It
So
was his
technically,
vision.
it's his vision, but somebody else developed it for him.
Right.
Wrote it
Because he
and
doesn't have the
directed
patience
it.
for claymation.
Wrote it and
Right.
directed it.
Right.
He had a team do it, but you know.
Yeah, he didn't do it, but he did it.
And I
Yeah.
think he was right to do that because the team was
Hey.
killer.
Oh, by the way,
Hey,
Brian,
look.
I did what you told me not to do,
Yeah,
and I watched Zombieland 2.
yeah.
That's the Marvel method.
haven't
It
seen it.
fucking sucks.
I haven't
That's-
seen it.
That's the Marvel method.
It's
is
bad?
when you
I've
don't-
never seen a worse goddamn sequel in my goddamn life.
Oh, I'm glad I knew
I
that.
am telling you, dude.
seen it.
Me and my
You,
bro sat down. I'm like, I feel like drawing. I need to, I feel like drawing. So I sat down in the living room, right? Starting right. We go, oh, let's watch it. We heard that it's not that good, but let's give it a try, right?
No,
Right.
but
Dude,
you
it fucking
got to-
sucks. It's pun after pun of SJW, cocking, and at the end, the
No.
fucking soy boys
Hold on.
fucking win
Tim.
the world.
Yay!
Oh.
Real
Yay,
quick.
soy!
I mean, you can cock that bitch all you want. You're still nowhere near Toad Suck, buddy. But all I've got to say is
Oh,
that
I want to see the
Check out-
one-handed cock.
Yeah, do it.
check out the Gospel of Comics.
I
this
I came
coming
here-
Sunday,
I came here to
10
chew bubble
p.m.
gum
Eastern Standard,
and kick
Say,
some
"Thug
ass.
life."
and we will talk about how the Marvel method is the worst way to design modern comics. And
Oh my god!
And what's
Yeah.
your Marvel method?
well, the Marvel method is basically the writer comes up with an idea and then puts all of the fucking responsibility on the artist.
Okay,
Story. He writes
so
the
you're
story.
you're saying that the writer comes in and just write the plot like a creator, like somebody that
Yeah.
would like me. When I approach a story, like most people that draw and write their story, they rarely write a full script first.
Well,
That's
the
what
thing
you mean.
is, like,
I'm
are
a
you guys
full
familiar
guy.
with the Silver Surfer? Like,
Yeah.
everybody here knows who the Silver Surfer is, right?
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to collect silver.
Okay.
Surfer.
Well, the Silver Surfer was created in the Marvel, cosmic
Yeah.
universe,
By Jack Kirby.
and then Stan called Jack and said, "Who the fuck is the surfboard guy?" And
Mhm.
Jack was like, "Well, Galactus, being as big as he is, would have a herald that flew before him, and surfing is kind of popular right now."
And
So
surfing
the
was
Silver
busy.
Surfer became a character and was accredited to Stan Lee, even though Jack Kirby basically is responsible for all of it.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's the Stanley curse. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No. Well, it's not.
Don't
it's
get
not
me
a
started
curse.
on that guy.
and it's
Well,
an
the thing
incredibly.
is, Stan Lee was the editor over like 56 comics in his day. So you can't hold him responsible for the fact that he couldn't edit them all.
No, but he did
And-
take the credit for them all, though.
Absolutely, he did. He put his name on every fucking one of them. And you know what I would do as Marvel editor in chief? The same goddamn
Same
thing.
thing.
The problem is that now in 2020, Tom Brevoort is doing the same thing with Dan Slott, which is why you should join us on the Gospel of Comics, youtube.com/the Gospel of Comics, on Saturday night to understand why the Marvel method doesn't work in 2020.
I thought you were talking about the new Marvel method, which is you get your artist off of Tumblr, you get your writer off of Twitter, and
that's why I was asking.
Oh no, Dan Slott still works off of the old school Marvel method because you know what? It puts all the imposition on the artist, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people like to. I write really detailed scripts, but at the same time, I like to give the artist a lot of latitude.
But Brian, the thing is, what his point is, when you write your basic script, you have your story. You came up with your own goddamn story, not just hey, that guy has powers. This happened, and you fill it.
Not even that, Sim. Brian, do you have Disney Plus?
No, fuck that.
Oh no! I have 3 children. I have to have Disney Plus.
Oh, I understand. I don't have any kids, so it's.
But I would say get your free trial of Disney Plus if you haven't yet.
Okay.
There's a documentary series called 616. Watch episode 7.
All right.
Episode 7 basically tells how Dan Slott can't fucking do his job.
He's a piece
and
of
has
shit.
to have somebody come in and do his scripting after he does the plotting.
Oh, that's lame.
And then they send it to the artist. And then like 2 days before it's due to print, they send it to the letterer. And they're like, oh, no, this is just how Dan Slott does it because he learned in the old Marvel method.
Oh, God.
Motherfucker would have been fired in my job.
No shit.
Yeah,
no shit. Didn't something... Well, he's
Dude,
in the news recently. What's up with Dan Slott right now?
Anyways, just one thing I wanted to add. Like, it's also been proven that in the vault of Marvel, right, the reason why they never, and they're still fighting to this day, to not return all the art that he did, is because most of the fucking pages have the fucking dialogue on the side, the notes for Stan Lee on the side. If they weren't on the side of the fucking margin, they were on the back of the goddamn page. And those pages, they will never let it out to protect the contract that they had for a long time between Stan Lee and the other one. Yeah.
Because Stan Lee was the EOC at the time, and that means it's owned by Marvel.
Don't forget, people, that for almost 12 years, people thought Stan Lee was dead.
Oh yeah, we used
remember?
We used to joke about this. Stan Lee is dead because you only used to see
until he came back. Until he came back, and he said that where were you for all these years, right? And he goes, I was trying to make it in Hollywood. That's why he was teamed up with Trauma and all those people for
By the time he came back, he was forced into a position of signing shit that he wasn't even cognizant to.
And denied that you went to Hollywood and you left for 12 years, and they always talk like he's always been there.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Like all the stories back in the 80s and 90s of how he was a skirt hunter, un coureur de jupe in French, meaning that he likes to go after those girls and be in strip clubs. But now he's always been loyal to his wife.
Like that.
Right? Never. Like Stripperella. Never.
No, Stan Lee was never guilty of any of those crimes. What it was is the editors-in-chief of Marvel were guilty of those crimes, and they all attributed to Stan Lee.
Well, Fellini wanted to work with Stan Lee,
but by the time he was fired from Marvel,
a while back,
Lee got fired from Marvel after he left the EOC position.
A while back, even Stan Lee, before he went back to Marvel, right? People were asking him who created thing, and he said that he would like to give credit to Kirby, but he can't. You can read in between the lines. He's stuck with contract.
Because he was under contract.
And they got him under that contract, so by him saying that he owns everything and standing by it, they own it because they own him. Yeah.
Right.
So he got caught into a vicious cycle that he stuck himself into.
I'm glad that they sort of made up. They actually were on a radio show together, kind of by accident. I think it was Stan Lee,
I saw it.
Right? And Jack Kirby.
If somebody can send me that link in the DMs, please.
No, it's Kirby that called in. Yep.
Right?
Somebody send me that link in the DMs, please, on Twitter.
And it was actually kind of beautiful that they did have that moment where they were both it was a real honor to work with this other guy, and that they're both responsible for creating these legends. Now Kirby gets the credit that he deserves, just not in the mainstream. Of course, I think what was it like?
Or in the monetary situation.
Or
ever since Disney bought it, they decided to bring into the legend, the Hall of Fame there, and that's ever since he's been recognized as the co-creator. Right. Not before. Yeah. They never did.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
that's why till to this day, like, I'm a Kirby boy. Like, I think about it right now, and it freaking squeezes my heart, dude.
Oh, dude! I stopped buying Marvel comics because they refused to give him back his original art.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was like, fuck that.
There's a reason that I bought all of DC's New World bullshit because they actually gave credit to Kirby.
Yeah, me too, dude. I have all the books. I bought everything, dude, that he ever did when they decided to do this shit. I bought
because Kirby and Kirby's family actually got royalties off of the New World.
Dude, even Russ fought till she died, dude, and they still refused to give them art. And that she deserved to be called the Queen of Comics.
Well, here's the thing, like, people talk about Kirby, but Ditko got screwed worse than anybody else because Spider-Man was the face of Marvel Comics and never got a fucking mention until the 25th
But Ditko,
because Ditko
also didn't really stand up for himself too much.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. He went into the dark.
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to stand up for yourself.
I agree.
Yeah,
that's true. But Ditko was a recluse, and there was this.
Ditko was looking for work to feed his family, but the fact is, his grandchildren shouldn't have to fucking.
Oh, without a doubt.
Push lawsuit after lawsuit to just get credit
for dude, we're
the
right there with
of the creator of Spider-Man.
So it's kind of cool how like the Boris Karloff Frankenstein is the iconic imagery that applied to Frankenstein's monster forever and ever and ever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I think that's very cool.
That was
How tall is Boris Karloff?
Now
he wasn't that tall. They gave him these elevators.
He looks tall.
Yeah.
Well, how far after?
It's a costume too. The jacket is a little too short, is a little too small for him.
Right.
That makes them look really massive. And they gave him these giant
shoulder pads,
elevator shoes.
Yeah.
Well, shoulder pads too.
Platformers.
Platforms.
But how far after Mary Shelley's Frankenstein did Boris Karloff fall into that role?
Oh,
19.
Yeah, no, well, a considerable time after, because we're talking about 1931, right?
Yep.
And Mary Shelley, died before, like, long before the 20th century, and but Mary Shelley did live to see the stage production of Frankenstein. Remember that Frankenstein and Dracula were very popular stage plays before they became movies.
Right.
And the reason they became movies was because they were popular stage plays.
Well, now, because you could actually incorporate them into silent film.
Yeah. Basically, with the Universal horror films, what you had with Frankenstein was you had for the very first time.
Mary Shelley died before he was even born. So 1797 is when she was alive. When did the book get written? It got written in 1823 was the first performance of the book on a stage, apparently. So
that was about
the novel was 1818. It says here. So 1818 was a novel, and 1931 was the Frankenstein movie. Was that right? So so that's quite a couple. That's over 100 years, man. So
dang.
Dude, Church, I just went on Disney Plus and I was checking the 616 thing.
Episode 7.
Yeah, I'm checking on the episodes. Like, dude, they're mainly talking about cosplayers than anything else.
No. Episode 7 is the one with Tom Brevoort and Dan Slott, like, exposing themselves.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, I was checking quickly at the other episode. I'm like, cosplay, toys, cosplay, toys. One artist. There's one artist, one Marvel way.
Episode 1 is Japanese Spider-Man, dog.
Yeah, Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh, Japanese Spider-Man was bitching.
The first one is Japanese Spider-Man. Higher, further, and faster. That's a cosplayer with that girl. Then you have the artist. Then you have Lost and Found. Then you have Suit Up, which is another cosplayer. Then you have the toys. Then you have the Marvel Method and Spotlight.
Sounds like hot garbage.
Yep.
I honestly think that episode 7 was a mistake like somebody in Marvel editorial didn't understand what they were doing, and they put that episode out.
I think they're all fed up with Dan Slott, man, and this could potentially get him fired. This episode.
Yeah, but sometimes I think they're trying to dumbify what the comic book is. Like they did it with art, simplify it to the max that people don't really care as much for the art of it, and I think it's becoming the same thing for writing. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like it's kind of like showing to people, look, it's not that serious. This is how it is, and kind of like
you know what I think. I think that Boris Karloff brought like a whole nother level of sympathy to the character of Frankenstein.
Thanks.
You know,
you go, Drew.
Dude, I like the one in Val Helsing too. I thought that was a good take too.
Drew's just trying to bring it back
that one as well.
basics.
I'm actually
The
working
Van
on
Helsing one. I really like the mechanical aspect to him, like with the lighting that kept him alive in his. I like that thing.
Yeah, I loved that.
I thought that was an interesting design. I also liked the monster design that was in Victor Frankenstein. Although I think that movie is like kind of all over the place. The monster design in that I thought was actually pretty superb.
And another thing I like to bring up to what Drew was trying to highlight earlier, like everybody like brings in that type of Frankenstein. It's like how many times you go, like people are like, "Oh, Frankenstein has bolts on his neck." Not really. Karloff does.
And a flat
That's
top
it.
of his head or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
That was James Whale's design.
And then and then green, and then the green color. You know what I mean? Also,
well, the green was for to look more pale in black and white film.
Exactly.
Yeah, but all those things translated to Frankenstein, you know,
being green.
Moving forward. Almost every cartoon expectation of him is like that. You know, it's just.
Yeah, because they took pictures of him in full makeup for the filming, I guess.
Herman Munster. You know what I mean?
When was the first Boris Karloff Frankenstein produced?
31.
Well before Marvel Comics was ever a thing, so it had
to do with absolutely. And let's face it, the James Whale / Boris Karloff version of the monster was also an incredible influence on the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
Now what was the inspiration for this version of the monster? It was Paul Wegener's Gollum. The scene with the little girl, for instance, that's right from the Gollum by Paul Wegener, which is from 1920. One of the great silent German horror films. And what this was a German horror film, but produced by Hollywood in Hollywood. And nobody had ever done anything like it before. You look at Dracula, for instance, by Todd Browning, it's a fucking crash and burn. It's one of the worst movies. It's just a snooze fest. Mainly because it's based on the stage play, and the stage play itself is just a pot boiler. Whale did something that was truly cinematic. And as much as I love the original Frankenstein, nothing compares to the absolute majesty and the glory of Bride of Frankenstein. It's my favorite movie.
Yeah, that is a good movie. It's not what I expected when I first watched it. I remember when I was a kid, I was thinking it was going to be a completely different like story than it actually ended up being, because it doesn't have the kind of ending you'd expect either. So.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And Karloff was very much against the notion of the monster speaking. And I respectfully disagree with him there, because I think that that scene where O.P. Heggie, as the blind man, teaches the monster how to speak, and you see that he's learning and that he's growing, that he just needed a little TLC, and he could become a fully fledged person. The way I always think of it was that in the first movie he's an infant, in the second movie it's like he's a teenager, and I was hoping as a kid, because I'd already read the novel, that in the third film then finally he'd be a grown-up and we would have Shelley's monster. But instead they decided to kind of like set him backwards and made him nonverbal again. And so I love you, Boris, but I disagree with you. I think that that the monster talking, especially in Bride of Frankenstein, is just magnificent, beautiful stuff. I mean, how can you forget things like "Dead"? I love dead. hate living. You go, you live, you stay. We belong dead. You know, those are classic fucking lines, man. Great stuff. And yeah, here he is, of course, after surviving the fire at the end of the original Frankenstein. By the way, Kaloff had to have 3 back surgeries from carrying Colin Clive up the stairs of that set of the windmill. Fucked his back up really bad, evidently. Look, that's according to his daughter, Sarah Kaloff. And yeah, here of course we have that wonderful scene, which every time I see it, it brings tears to my eyes, and it makes the scene in Young Frankenstein just absolute blasphemy, which makes it even funnier in my book.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, how could you? How dare you?
Oh, it's Mel Brooks. How dare he not?
Yeah,
Exactly,
of course.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's one of the things I love about that movie is that it's very much from a place of love, and it's very much from a place of affection. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's same thing with Blazing Saddles. You can't. It's very clear that the person who made that
you
loved
can't make that You can't make that movie today.
Oh,
I gotta say something though. I was thinking about what you said about preferring him to speak. I think most people remember Frankenstein's monster in this incarnation as not speaking, as just grunts. I feel like it's what your take on it. Like, it's more beautiful that he speaks, and like that is true. Like it is a story about humanity and what like shows you and makes you relate or kind of feel for this monster more than like he starts to speak and have passion for a lady. You know what I mean? Like it pulls you in on that human side. And then there's the people who are just like, they just like him a monster. But in the end, it's also a tale about how like we're the monsters and what we made was innocent, you know?
Absolutely.
I mean, what I got was the idea that he can try, not that he can't talk, because he used to say that he's unable to talk, right? Me, I don't really like the idea that he could like just talk regularly, but that he could at least try without being able to would be kind of cool. You know, like he tries, seeing that he would kind of prove that he has a type of it.
Well, Shelley's monster.
I would think that Frankenstein, being that he was like reanimated, would have not a full brain capacity. I would think that, possibly equivalent to a child with Down syndrome, you know what I mean? Where he would just get smarter and smarter, but he'd never be fully brilliant.
Dude, are you making fun of kids with Down syndrome?
No, actually. Why?
No, why?
Okay. Just checking. Well, because Drew fucked with me for something similar.
And then there's
I don't know. Down syndrome girl. The song is kind of cool.
Shelley's Frankenstein spoke, correct?
Very eloquent. Yes, very eloquent.
And he was highly intelligent, like, which was actually really cool because he was like this more deadly foe for Dr. Frankenstein to worry about and have to take on. And it was kind of like the idea. I like the idea that he's this monster in this horrific prison, but inside his mind, he's got a lot of sophistication too. But I also, of course, love the James Whale, like this version, near and dear. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Frankenstein is the most adapted work of art, the most adapted novel in history.
Which brings me to a question. Sorry, go ahead. I want to ask you something.
Second was Dracula, please.
It's also the first sci-fi.
So there's so many versions of this story. It just resonates, and everyone wants to do their version. So I was going to ask everyone here as creators, what like a quick version or idea you might have if you were going to do your Frankenstein.
I already have one that I wrote.
Nice.
I have one too. I have one too.
Of course.
That's a direct sequel.
We got some.
Me
fans
too. It's
here.
a direct sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys did.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear both of these. I got to hear both of these.
Well, I mean, I'm not
curious too.
It's a sequel to the movie or a sequel to the novel?
Sequel to the novel.
Me too.
Oh, you guys are legit fans. Here's
the question. Trivia. What 3 books did the Frankenstein monster read when he was when he was hiding and observing the blind man and his family. One of them is the Bible. The other one, Paradise Lost. The third, Goethe's The Sorrows of Young Werther. And if you've read those books, yeah, I know, yeah, man, guilty as charged.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, dude, I'm a Frankenstein nerd. It's not fucking funny. Dude,
it's one of my favorite novels because to me, it's like I wrote an essay on it because it's the first sci-fi. Like I'm a big sci-fi guy, right? I love science fiction, but to me, supernatural and science fiction kind of blend because they came from this.
Yes.
Yeah.
The same story.
Science fiction came from this.
Yeah. Yeah. Science fiction and horror just go together. Just absolutely.
Look at Aliens. Look at what's the other one?
My favorite science fiction authors had a brilliant fucking tint. Like they enjoyed injecting horror into their stuff. That's why I like to read a lot of Bradbury when I was in high school. Because he always knew how to turn it dark in the best ways, man. It was great. I love that.
Even though he disavowed many of those stories later on, I was like, "Fuck it, they still rule."
They rule.
Did you guys cover other roles that Kaloff played, or you just covered Frankenstein so far?
We've covered a few things, a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
In fact, I have something queued here. Hold on. Let's see. What do I have queued? I thought I had something queued. Hold on. It's more Frankenstein though.
I've just been multitasking.
So where would you take it after as a sequel?
I would take it to I would explore the rest of that character's arc. Well, you basically have somebody that I would base it for. You know what? I would make it really personal. I would make it sort of based on my own journey. The reason why I always identified with the Frankenstein monster was because I always felt like I wasn't a part of humanity, that I was something outside of it. I was always made to feel like a freak and a misfit and a outsider, and I hated God, and because I thought that God hated me. And it took a long time, but I'm at a place now where I genuinely love people, and I genuinely love my fellow human beings, and I'm 100,000 times happier than I was before. Yeah, seriously, man. Old punk rock goth me would be absolutely disgusted by touchy-feely Mr. Huggy me now. It would be very much about that, and also potential.
Hold on. Let me figure out what Mrs. Church has to say about that. Mrs. Church, what do you have to say about that? Just say no, goddammit.
Let's see if she says no. I won't say no.
All right, everybody, your favorite non-Frankenstein Boris Karloff movie. Go.
Hold on, give me that one more time.
I would probably say, where he's plays Emotep with the Mummy. Is that what it's called? The Mummy or the Curse of the Mummy? What's that called?
The Mummy, man. The Mummy.
So bad. It's so bad. It's like just warmed over Dracula.
I couldn't get into the Mummy as a kid. I always thought that was the boring one. I was like,
it is boring, but if you watch it and maybe you have to be real high or something or drunk or whatever because that helps. But it's just creepy. Like he's got like this whole like creepy like almost like like if you were in the same room with a child molester, you'd feel that creepiness. You know what I mean? Kind of. Yeah.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
His performance.
I've never been in that situation.
His performance in that, of course, is exceptional. His performances are almost always exceptional. Boris was a guy who really got better and improved as an actor.
Are you saying that Boris was the guy that could get us behind maps?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I said, are you saying that Boris is the guy that could have gotten us beyond maps?
Beyond maps?
Minor attracted persons?
Maybe. Maybe that's a new term. That's a new term for me.
You're on Twitter.
You're gonna digest that one, man.
My favorite, my own personal favorite. I think his best performance is in Corridors of Blood. That's a little scene movie that deserves much more attention than it's gotten. It's from 1958. Shot in beautiful, luminous black and white. It also features Christopher Lee as a grave robber by the name of Resurrection Joe.
Is that back when he was like 14? Because Christopher Lee's like 17 years old or like 75 years old and everything. Like these days.
I know. Well, he was one of those actors. Lee Van Cleef was like that too, who always looked older than he actually was. And then when he actually became old, he just looked the same.
Yeah, but Christopher Lee's like 85 years old today, so.
Well, he passed away a couple of years ago, but
motherfucker.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had a
shit,
chance to meet him too, and I missed it. Do you know they lived on the same street? Think about this,
Boris.
You're walking down the street, and
goddamn curse of Boris Karloff.
Look at this great fucking characters they have on this thing.
Oh, it's an exceptional.
Look at that
film.
stovetop hat.
It's an exceptional
visual.
film. Yeah, there's
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, I love this movie.
Dude, this movie kicks ass.
Rewind it to Christopher Lee again.
And
sweaty Lee.
And the plot.
Eye patch, dude.
The plot of this is really interesting.
Yes, but Christopher Lee's like 18 in that scene.
Yeah, with like fake stubble. He's got like fake stubble on.
Well, 10 years out of Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay, nice.
He was in MI6. He knew
John Candy in the background. Shit.
Can you assholes understand that, Alex Trebek and Sean Connery died within 2 weeks of each other? That made Celebrity Jeopardy. That made Celebrity Jeopardy a real thing.
I know.
Finally.
The interesting thing about
just the way your mother liked it, Trebek.
Oh. Oh, snap.
I actually have a question. Has anyone here seen what is it? Penny Dreadful?
Yes.
Okay.
No, actually,
so I want to know what you think of the Frankenstein done in Penny Dreadful.
Haven't seen it, won't watch it.
It was okay.
It was okay?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Like Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is not to be fucked with, but Penny Dreadful was all right in its depiction.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I always wonder, yeah.
A much better adaptation, and you can watch this. It's on Amazon Prime right now. It's one of my favorites. It's called Frankenstein: The True Story. It's a 2-part miniseries. Each installment is 2 hours, so it's like a 4-hour movie.
It's called The Birth of Trump. I apologize.
No need to. Orange Man bad. We understand. But it's really exceptional. It starts out as a the first half is very original. The last half is pretty much faithful to the novel, but I don't want to give anything away. It's really, really good. The cast.
There's a lot of tanning beds and a lot of libertarianism and like superimposed.
Tanning beds, nothing, man. That was spray on.
No, you have to have tanning beds and spray on to achieve that level of orange, dog.
Oh man, it's all powdery and shit.
How do you think Mark Zuckerberg does it?
There you go,
dude. The hair alone, the hairstyles in that alone were amazing.
Like I said, that's a very underrated movie. That's a very
if I would use that to design characters for my books. Like that's good stuff. It's like it's very like broad, sweeping, crazy. Like over the top.
I'm telling you, you're never gonna top the Invisible Woman with huge tits. I'm sorry.
Oh man! If you knew the character designs of the ladies I have in store, oh my god! I'm gonna at least try.
By the way, if you haven't backed Monster MD, if you haven't backed Captain Volume 2, if you haven't backed Sim, what's your book?
Tales from the Natverse.
Tales from the Natverse. Brian, what's your book?
Six Gun Gorilla.
Gun Gorilla.
If you haven't backed any of these fucking books, what's your goddamn problem? Why are you fucking around right now and watching a live stream instead of throwing money at these brilliant goddamn creators?
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment.
Thanks, man.
Seriously,
Yeah,
man.
the Captain Love campaign is only $14 away from reaching the 5K stretch goal. I figured I'll go to the stretch goal if somebody gets it in the next couple of days. So anything you back at all, you'll get there. So
yeah, that's people make that happen during this stream.
Right fucking now.
Right fucking now. Right fucking now.
Look, my wife isn't even yelling at me right now. She's probably naked in my bedroom, but she's drunk, so I can't.
But yeah, Vaughn,
Because,
if you have
social
trouble
justice
finding
doesn't
it,
allow that.
wait, we went right down in that gutter fast.
That's where I live, son.
I hear you.
I mean, that's what you should do when you're showing Monster MD images. They go hand in hand, man. Gutter
Look, there's
and
an invisible
fucking this
bitch in
shit.
stockings. What are you gonna do with that?
Like this is where the good gutter is, guys.
She's
This
got
is where you
hard
wanna be.
nipples. She's got great legs. What are you gonna do with that?
And that
Imagine things. So, guys, yeah, man, there's people that are into invisible chicks like this. I didn't know this was a thing, and now I've somehow contributed to it.
My wife wants a Heidi shirt. What are you doing with your life?
I kind of think it's cool. I think it's going to up my sales by, like, God knows, like, maybe there's dozens of them. I don't know how many guys are into this stuff.
Hey, if there's
what about women?
Porn,
what about women that are into women that'll steal your cigarette and then put on stockings and lingerie? What?
I'd like to think they're fans too.
They are. They are. My wife only knows about Heidi, but she knows I'm getting Monster MD, and she's going to read it before I can.
Awesome. Well, it's long, man. It's 100. The main book's 144 pages.
Wow.
Look, I backed like
thick.
86.
I'm dumb. I shouldn't have made it so thick.
No.
But I wanted to like give people really good value
because
it's my first book, and it's worth the work.
Look,
it's awesome.
The only advice I can give you as a comic fan and not a creator is don't put a crossover comic as an add-on so that you can fulfill a little quicker.
Right.
That's the only advice I can give you.
Yeah. I also decided
plan that shit out before you launch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and also like I need to be careful that I add bonus stories so quick. You know what I mean? Like things that just add to your time and your budget.
You promised me a fucking God Gun book, and I want it still.
Oh, dude! Oh, God Gun, the artist on that disappeared.
I don't give a shit about that artist. I'll get you an artist.
But I'm talking to people behind the scenes, actually.
I'll get you a fucking artist if it'll get me a God Gun book.
There's two artists that are like, I think I might do God Gun. I'm like, I don't know. You look kind of busy.
Look, do you want a fucking Chick-fil-A tumbler or no?
Dude, I promise I will get that story out. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it so much.
Love gun books, so I'm there. That's okay. All I'm saying.
You had me at gun.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I had you at Chick-fil-A tumbler. Don't fuck with me.
Dude, you just had to say chick, and I'm like, yeah, what? Where? And you're like, fillet, and I'm like, all right.
I mean, just send me some fucking ketchup packets, and I'll send you a tumbler. That's all I need.
Okay, you got it, man.
Just
but I want a gold
That's
one.
all I want.
I want it
because
to be
I'm going to
gold.
put them on eBay once you get famous.
Hell yeah.
Oh wait, when he gets famous? What you talking about, Foo? He's already famous.
He's got to fulfill first.
Yes, I do. That's true.
But dude,
100%.
But dude, because I know, it was tough for you because you were. It took a long time for this book to come out, but like I said, we'd rather have it awesome than have it fast.
We
and
wait
the
for
fact
greatness.
That wait is going to pay off with
we wait for greatness. That's what we say.
I'm doing my best. I mean, this is the best thing I've ever made in my life, and I'm really proud of this. And I really appreciate you guys keeping me going and keeping this hyped and helping me like reach these levels. The fans made this happen, man, because people talked about it and like it blew up a bit, and I'm happy for that. Like the team that worked on this, like our work, I think speaks for itself, and like I think people are gonna like it. It's not Shakespeare. It's like I'm having fun. I think from doing this, I'm a better writer than I've ever been. I feel like sharper and better at my job than ever. And I don't know. I'm proud of it. I think people are going to dig it. Eric Weathers keeps freaking out. He's like, this book is special. Like, so I'm happy. I'm happy with where we're at. And the guys are the printer and the guy.
Eric Weathers freaks out, regardless, but
Well, he keeps telling me like he tells me about his woes of lettering, and then like whenever we letter the book, we would get on a stream, like a behind the scenes thing, and just jam out these letters and just make the book as perfect as we can. And he was like, dude, this book is good. Like as we made it, he was just getting really into it. I'm really like pumped that my book, because usually he says he just kind of does the letters and doesn't read it and just churns it out,
Well, I mean, what book isn't he lettering, right?
Yeah. He's a machine. He's got to be a machine to get it done, Yeah. But like he and I worked on this, and he's really down. I feel like the whole team is really down with this book, and that gives me hope for it, just making people happy.
Hell yeah, man. That's what it's all about, man. Once you see that book in people's hands, once you start hearing the dope ass reviews, you're gonna be through the roof, man. You're gonna be through the roof. It's a wonderful feeling.
So 1,897 backers probably, equals a fucking shitload of books. So when's that fulfillment start?
Well, the printer, I'm actually sending the money to the printers tomorrow, and then they're starting printing. And then I don't know when I get them exactly, but I'll talk to them about that tomorrow.
Are you having Mixum? Are you having Mixum do it?
I'm doing API.
I'm not familiar with their turnaround.
They're I don't know the turnaround. I'll find out. I'll let you know. But it's high quality. You get a higher quality. You get a solid book. That I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, man, they did a really good job helping me learn a lot of this stuff. I'm new to this, so that also might have been why it's taking a little longer than I want, because I just want this done, man. You know what I mean? The amount of this is like 240 pages of content. Like, even though it took a long time, like that's a lot of content. Like, and this is my first time doing something like this and having a team.
That's a lot of shipping weight, man. It's gonna
kill me. Yeah, it probably will. This whole campaign's philosophy was I want to over deliver, on my first book and see where it can take me. So
absolutely. It's like I look back and I'm just like, fuck, what was the first thing I released? A 6-issue trade paperback. I should have just done 1, 2, but no, I wanted to fucking grab people, and that's what you're gonna do with this.
Yeah. I don't know in the future if I'll do a sketchbook, like behind the scenes book. I don't know, man. I think I might be done with those.
Didn't I sign up for a sketchbook for Monster MD? What are you talking about?
Yeah. In the future campaigns, I don't think I'm going to do a sketchbook.
Well, I don't think you should. I think you should add that on to the second campaign after the fact.
Right.
There you go.
See that motherfuckers in for the second campaign.
Right.
There it is.
So yeah, it's like things like that will cut.
As a customer, motherfucker,
like how fast I make a book. Right. And that's why I'm cutting down my books.
I mean, I'm happy I get
by
the sketchbook in the first
pages,
campaign, but
half the pages for the books, and then no big sketchbook. Probably no bonus comic book either. But I'm just really glad we were able to make this happen, man. At all.
Don't make that a stretch goal. Like, make it a thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, we're gonna do a book together. And that's going to be a stretch goal if both of us reach this particular plot, but you've already got it done before the campaign launches, kind of shit.
Yeah,
because it has nothing to do with your actual book, right? Like Monster MD 2.0 will have nothing to do with anything you have to do with an add-on.
What do you mean?
Well, like
he's saying the add-on doesn't happen, like it doesn't change what you're already gonna do.
Monster MD and Shinobi Sasquatch had nothing to do with Monster MD or Shinobi Sasquatch happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So once you launch a second campaign, like you've got the script written for a second book with whoever you're planning on doing a second book with, And if you reach that stretch goal, then that book is already done. You don't have to wait beyond the production time of the initial
Right.
book for an add-on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's different ways to approach it that make it feasible and just like
and it's
planning
a learning
better,
process.
you know? Right.
It's a learning process. Like we talked about that with fucking Eric Weathers and Clint.
Oh
and
yeah,
everybody on this trip.
Eric and I talk shop all the time. Like we're always figuring out and tweaking things.
You and Eric talk hair and Chick-fil-A. I understand that.
Oh yeah, we're good at it. People miss Gentlemen Scoundrels, man. We might bring it back. Actually,
you need.
It's like a little morning show. Yeah, that'd be fun.
You need to. There's
Eric and I are talking about it.
There's a void there.
Truly. Well, maybe if we all get locked down again, you know, who knows what could
happen.
Well,
I've already told everybody if we get locked down for 6 weeks under Biden, then I'm going to need 12 G's up front.
Hey man, I'm in New York. We're locked the fuck down, like you would not believe.
Yeah, we're locked down here again in California too. So.
Well, you guys have never been not locked down. So
that's true. That's
true.
Yeah,
we have. We were released, and now we're back to purple. Because
what was it like? 4 days? 4 days you guys were free?
No.
What are we? An hour and 15 minutes in? Isn't Horror Talk an hour show? What are we doing, Drew?
Well, are you complaining?
talking about lockdown,
paying
baby.
me for overtime, dog. You're not paying me for single time.
Peace out, bro.
Okay.
You get no pay.
Hey, Brian, before you leave, check this out. Share my screen for a sec. It took me a while, but I went through my old file and I found some of the art that I did for that story that I did for Frankenstein.
Ooh, sweet.
That was just concept art.
Get him. Get him, Sim. Make that face at him, dog. Arf, arf, arf.
I love seeing other people's takes on Frankenstein's, man.
Oh, dude, I collect images of the Frankenstein monster. I have a big
that's cool.
Frankenstein monster toy collection.
Nice.
I also have a collection of illustrated versions. Of,
a bit like Brian said, I was picking up right after at the ending of Mary Shelley, where he goes and he says that he's going to commit suicide because he feels bad about what he did. So I started the story right after. Like he tries to commit suicide, doesn't work.
Yeah,
he can't die.
What's he gonna burn himself?
So he decides to go back to his little homeland where his dad went, and he secluded himself in a cavern and with books and stuff, and just like a bit like Vincent in Beauty and the Beast in the series, he grew away from everybody until he gets discovered by her. Mm-hmm. And a bit like Brian said, at that point he's more open to people. Before he needs to seclude himself because he thinks that everybody wants to hurt him.
Yeah, and also,
because he sees himself as a monster.
Right, and also consumed with guilt because of the terrible things he did, especially William. The murder of William in particular, I think, is, and then the servant taking the rap and getting hung for it.
Yeah.
That was like the worst thing that he did.
And people often ask me why I decided to bring a character that was a girl. I'm like, that I'm technically doing Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
As a badass,
Oh, that's wonderful! I love that, dude. Oh.
So is anybody interested on my take of what Frankenstein would have been? Because I also had an idea. So I would have had.
Saying good night, guys. Say good night.
Good night, 5-year-old.
Good night.
So I would have had Frankenstein hide in a monastery for like hundreds of years, and then be discovered when the monastery is being shut down by the Catholic Church, and has to make his way in the world as as a person, and people are all tolerant of him.
Hey, I would never shut down a church, sir.
Well, you're not. The Catholic Church does shut down, monasteries and closes things and sells land, and they do that kind of stuff all the time. So it fits, but that was and I would probably stage it in the 70s where it was like a time of maximum acceptance, so that he would be accepted instead of repelled. You know what I mean? So
I'd see him more on a street corner, and people thinking that he was just like a homeless veteran who had a bomb explode in his face.
Exactly. Like right after Vietnam, like he'd be some vet or something, right? Exactly. but he'd be like, Frankenstein's monster, and then he would like, find a whole new life for himself, in the 1970s. So yeah, that's my take. I know it's crazy, right?
Bell bottom Stein.
No, but my 5-year-old just said goodnight as a Frankenstein's monster. So.
Aw.
Adorbs.
Yeah, kids are precious. And speaking of Boris Karloff, he was somebody that really, really loved children because they were his biggest fans. He said most of the fan mail that he got was from children, and that they weren't afraid of the monster. They were they identified with the monster. And this is such great footage. Yeah, from the set of Frankenstein. Yeah, and I think this also includes beautiful color footage. I think this includes the little piece where he sneaks up on the makeup artist, Jack Pierce. We'll see if that's here. Yeah.
Do you think they knew they were creating an icon?
I think they believed they were working with an existing icon. I think they believed they were working with an existing icon.
I don't think so. Like I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't think
I think that they thought that the character Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster character was already treasured and special by the time they got to it. It's just that the visual medium hadn't been quite done yet. So it's like they already had I do. I mean, it shows them the work,
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, maybe in the movie, like cinematography or whatever, but I don't think that. Hold on, make sure I'm not muted.
You're not muted. We hear you.
In the movie cinematography, I don't think that the Frankenstein was ever like unintelligible as a character. I think that the Frankenstein character was the misanthrope of any generation.
Well, you're talking about the
Frankenstein's monster.
Monster.
Well,
right?
Frankenstein as the doctor, sure, but when I say Frankenstein, everybody on this panel knows that I'm talking about the goddamn monster, right?
Nope.
Yeah, but we want to blow your shit.
Nope. I see what you're talking about.
You, Drew, and fuck you, Sim, but everybody else knows what I'm talking about.
I knew.
Ever since I was a little kid,
we know you're talking about the monster, right?
Yeah.
But we know better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
Thanksgiving. Fuck all of y'all.
Boom. This is the gospel truth, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Without a doubt. We keep it real here. But yeah, my goodness, man. Without a doubt, that's everybody recognizes that version of the monster. And Jack Pierce, who you just saw in that clip, thought of himself very much as sort of like almost a priestly figure who created these characters and brought them to life. And let's face it, that makeup is easily the most iconic and the most recognizable monster makeup ever. It's not even close. It's not even close. Jack Pierce, unfortunately, was also evidently a little bit of a pill, so the first chance the studio got to replace him, they replaced him with his protege, Bud Westmore, who, quite frankly, was even better than he was. What are we looking at here?
I was gonna say I have to go change it.
I gotta boogie soon too.
You know, Drew, there's no audio.
Take care, brother.
Yeah, I do. I do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I do that on purpose.
I just want to make sure.
Because audio is the fastest trigger to getting the.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine taking your girl out and dancing like that all night? That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would.
As long as she didn't have that face.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Well, I don't blame her who she's fucking dancing with.
You see those eyes? He looks like a beggar or a coker.
He does.
Yeah, this looks like an old episode of a Thriller, I'm guessing.
No, it's Lurid.
Lurid.
1947.
Lurid with Lucille Ball.
Another one that everybody should check out was one of the later performances by Kaloff, which is in a Peter Bogdanovich movie called Targets, where he plays basically himself, a aging horror movie icon who is hosting a screening of 2 of his films at a drive-in. Unfortunately, somebody shows up at the drive-in who's basically Charles Whitman, from the Texas Tower shootings, and starts picking people off at the drive-in movie theater. It's a really sweat-inducing scene.
Dude, what's that movie Boris is in where he's got the black hair and then like the white shock of hair like going back?
Oh, The Black Cat.
That's The Black Cat? Dude, that's like the most badass version of Boris, though.
Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah, he plays the villain in that, and actually, Bela plays the good guy. I never got to finish that story about Bela and Boris. Let me squeeze that in real quick. So Bela hated Boris because he was jealous of him, and nobody wanted to work with Bela because Bela had an ego and shit. And Boris was asked to do a movie called The Invisible Ray, and he said, "Okay, I'll do it, but only if you hire Bela for this other part." And they were like, "Oh man, we don't want to work with that guy." He was like, "Well, I'm not doing it unless you hire him." And he was like, and they were like, "Okay, we'll do it." He was like, "Okay, one other condition: you can't let him know that I got him the part, because if you do, it'll crush him."
Oh, that's a really nice thing.
Bela went on just like, fucking Karloff, no talent, motherfucker. Yeah, and Bela was just peace like that, was just like whatever. Yeah. So righteous, not just a horror icon, but also just by all accounts a righteous dude. Happy birthday, Boris.
Happy birthday, Boris. We miss you.
And if you can't find Corridors of Blood, you know who your hookup is.
All right. Well, there we go.
Excellent movie. Highly recommended.
Trying to get something here to play, but it's just pictures.
Yeah. Beautiful stills.
There we go.
Has nothing to do with the Poe story, by the way. But great Art Deco sets. The sets are one of the things that really stand out in these early Universal monster movies.
How old did he live to be?
Oh, in his 80s.
He died in 1969, and he was born in 1887?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1987? 18, was it 1887? Is that what it was? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Boris.
That would have been a neat trick, though, to die in 1969 and born in 1987. That would have been a neat trick. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
He could pull it off.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking how crazy it must have been.
The backward man.
How crazy it must have been. The fact that to live on that same street or walk on that same street where Boris Karloff and Christopher Lee lived, to be like tell your friends like I just walked past Frankenstein and fucking Dracula. Right. How weird that would be.
Yeah,
that would be weird. Except you wouldn't necessarily recognize Frankenstein as Frankenstein unless he was dressed as such. You know what I mean?
You're like, Boris, what's up, brother?
Yeah, but he wasn't known like that though until much later.
Oh no, I mean? he was very well loved in where he lived in London, because during the Blitz,
maybe where he lived in London. Yeah, but I meant just in general, Boris Karloff's name wasn't really big until he got older. You know what I mean? Which was weird. I always tripped on that. I thought he would have been a much bigger name until I wasn't there. You know what I mean? But he was a figure that was very famous and very revered actually in England, because he entertained people during the Blitz when people were down in the bomb shelters. He would go on the radio and read them stories, and that's another thing that really endeared him to the public.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, where's his biopic? Did anyone do a Boris
He's too boring. He's too boring. Boris Karloff, nicest guy who ever lived.
We'll fuck him up a bit. Let's get to work on this. We'll make it metaphoric, and he'll have dreams about a monster inside of him, and blah blah blah. Like, we'll fuck him up, and
Bela, meanwhile, was banging Clara Bow, the it girl, and had like
Everyone
a big portrait of her. Bela's story is interesting, and of course also sad and tragic in many respects.
And it's been sort of shown a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and Edward. Yeah. It definitely covers his last day.
He did so many movies with so many people and has so many stories. I don't see how you could. I see how you could do a really cool biopic, like covering all the different roles.
Possibly.
He did.
I've always wanted to write one about Lon Chaney Jr. He's the one whose life actually really, really, really fascinates me, and how demon haunted he was, and how he was very much born to play that part of the Wolfman. Although he also ended up playing all of the great icons. He ended up playing the Frankenstein monster. You check it out, Simon?
No, Drew. Did you see it? I got a message from Facebook. Did you get it?
A message from Facebook? No, I didn't.
Yeah, Creative Content Protection has taken action on your video from page CG Horror Talk because of may contain music or audio, and they took out our video right now looking at Karloff. So check your YouTube. It says you're blocked.
Oh,
all right, I'm on it.
Mother effer.
I just wanted to give you the heads up right away. I just opened Facebook to go see if I had a message, and boom.
Shit.
Well done,
Since I'm an admin with you, it sent me the message as well.
Right. YouTube's still going. YouTube's got no issue.
Still going?
But YouTube's still going. And Facebook, I will just send them a message telling them that we're doing commentary and they can eat my ass and they'll fix it.
Can you also add that they can gargle my balls?
And I'll throw in that they can gargle Brian's balls.
Yes.
Okay.
Both of them. But yeah, what was I saying?
And they can floss with my pubes. There you go. I needed to add something.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Lon Chaney Jr. So he played the Mummy, Dracula, the Frankenstein monster, and the Wolfman. How fucking crazy!
Yes. Yeah. Well.
Well, they must have changed their mind because it's still running. So on Facebook.
Oh. I guess.
Are they not merciful? Are you not merciful, YouTube?
No, I mean
maybe they kept them going, but they're gonna edit it out or something. I don't know.
They says my post was removed from Horror Nation by an admin, but I don't have a message from. Oh wait, there it is. The Creative Contact Protection thing. Let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to submit my dispute. That's what I'm going to do. All right, you guys keep on talking amongst yourselves while I submit this dispute.
All right, man. Dispute away, but I think I'm going to head out.
I need to as well, actually.
I have some late night lettering to do on a new story.
Yeah, well, it's almost done anyways. So.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and call it a night. Right. We went an hour and a half. Let's go ahead and call it a night. Everybody, thank you for. Hey guys, don't jump off yet. I want to. I already showed Brian, but he has to hang out too. Don't jump off yet. I want to show you guys some imagery. But everybody, thank you for coming to Horror Talk. Thank you for helping us to celebrate the birthday of a legendary icon of horror imagery, the face of Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Of Frankenstein's monster, really. But you would see the word Frankenstein and that image all across media for centuries to come. And it's all because of one movie in 1931 that was black and white. So, anyway, thank you for coming to Horror Talk, and we shall see you soon.
Peace, love, and soul, everybody.
Later.